All right, and there we go. So we're back with our charts, and one of the things I want to start off by looking at is the S&P, and you can see it's been climbing up, right? Now everybody thought the market was going to stall, which it did, right under the 4,200, and that was a key resistance area that we broke through last week. Now the trick is, the question is this still a bear market rally, or is it got legs? And we'll see. Again, what I was looking for is 3 green days in a row over the 4,200, and we're just about there. So my take on it is, if the market keeps going up Monday, how to say, not just Monday, but starting Tuesday. So that's going to be kind of the start of the market if we do get a run. I want to see if the market does continue up on Tuesday and Wednesday, then we may be able to start doing some swing trading to the long side more aggressively. For now, we've been kind of hit and run on the way up, and it's been a pretty good path, as you can see, going up to the 4,250. So remember this previous consolidation area, that's what I was looking at to see, like most Wall Street pros, we're looking to see, do we break and hold above consolidation? So far we have, but I've still got my doubts. I'm ever cautious. The market does a really good job of faking people out, right? Of saying, hey, it's going up. The market keeps going up, and then people get long, and then it all of a sudden crashes and goes down. So don't want to be caught. The way to trade this market, the way that I'm going to be trading this market, is relatively small initial share size, as always, for things that are taking out multi-day highs, and then like Bed Bath & Beyond, right? And then scale in gradually and cautiously, because we're likely to see a big red day sometime soon. Before we look at the VIX, let's take a quick look at this. One thing that I noticed is what? One thing that I teach active traders all the time is looking at price patterns. Well, how far did it run, either up or down, the last time before it stalled and dropped? You can see here, it's about equivalent. The quality engineer, the statistician in me, looks for equivalent ranges. So as a market technician or a professional, one thing you look at is how far did it run the last time it ran before it did something opposite. And we're about there now, is my point. Now, how many of you had that aha? I'm curious, did anyone spot this? The last time it made a continuous run, it ran that many days and that many points, okay? And that was to the downside. This last run, it's gone about the same number of days and about the same number of points. So it is overdue for a rollover. So what that means is you do not, or at least I'm not going to trade large size long into this market right now. It's ripe. It's done its thing. It's likely to consolidate or pull back or do something unexpected. So I want to make sure that we take a look at the patterns here. A question from How to Access. Yeah, on the for the forum, for all of you who are regular members, not trial members, but all of you who are monthly members and annual members that want to be on the forum, do send me your email address that you had originally registered with and a password, and I will manually register you on the forum. I'm not going to have an open registration link for the public. It's going to be behind the scenes that I do for people who are live room members only. So if you're a live room member, and there's a lot of you here, just send me an email with your email that you use to register, and make sure you're at least a monthly or 6-month or an annual member, not a trial member, a regular member, and send me a password that you want to use, and I will manually go through, and it's going to take probably a few days, at least a week, because I have a lot of members, but a lot of new members too. So but send me your email and your preferred password, and I will manually enter that into the system. And it's going to be really good. We put a lot of work into it. So anyway, the point is, on the markets ran up this last leg as far as it ran down the earlier leg. That's very important. Every CMT, every professional, every market technician is going to look at that. So that's one thing. The other thing is the extended drop in the VIX. What is the story of the VIX? Question, people. What does the VIX do after it runs down for a long time? Does it keep running down for a long time like a bad stock, or what does it do? The VIX 100% of the time is a oscillating indicator. It reverses, right? It always reverses. I went in 700 shares UVXY yesterday. Now I may end up with some egg on my face or more money in my pocket. I think that anywhere under 10 is a total bargain. So anyway, UVXY, it does really good when it pivots. So I went heavy short the market basically on Friday. We'll see if now the market may well, like one of my smart traders, Mick, had said, the market may well gap up, and it certainly may do that. But I'm going to riddle me this, Batman. What do you think the passage of the major infrastructure, multi-billion-dollar, I won't get political, but the government's spending a whole lot of money and hiring a whole lot of tax collectors. Do you think that is A, good for equities, or B, really, really fucked up for the economy and equities and everything known to earth on man? Do you think the passage of this big multi-billion-dollar infrastructure bill is a good idea for the economy and the stock market, or do you think the market's going to gap down? I'm hearing not so good. Lowell, Gary saying I bought a couple hundred UVXY2. Yeah, under 9 is a total steal. Maria saying not so good. Bill saying government spending big. We don't have to borrow from ourselves. Yeah. Devendra saying market gap down. Tom says good for votes. Yeah, it could be. Let's even let people who aren't qualified to vote in over the border so they can vote for us too. Let's throw the whole economy. Anyway, not to be a Fox News guy, but anyway, the point is the passage of the infrastructure bill on Friday is... Oh, and if you have any questions, type them in the chat box. Don't raise your hand because I can't see. I'm not looking at people's faces. But type in the chat box if you have any questions or comments, and I'll be happy to send that out. So I think that's going to be bad for equities. That was just a bonus, right? Because I went heavy UVXY into the close on Friday because it was cheap. And Rand spiked up nicely, right? I even day trade made some money on the last spike. For those of you live room members, you saw me. We nailed it on the way up. A little tiny spike, but a quarter point or so. The point is, the market may gap down because of infrastructure spending is likely to have a really horrible effect on the economy. So I told all my traders, not to say I told you so, but all of you who are live room members, you guys remember I said go to cash over the frickin' weekend. I mean, again, not trading recommendations, but I said what I'm doing, going mostly cash or short into the weekend. Do not hold heavy equity positions long into this weekend. This is a fake out market. It's likely to do a gap up or a slight gap up around a Monday, maybe Tuesday, just to get the public, I won't say dumb money, but the people who don't know how to trade will get in late high. Bad traders get in late high, okay? And not high like marijuana, but at a high price. They get in late at an expensive price. Professionals get in cheap at low prices, like I did. So just saying. It's going to be an exciting week next week. I'm looking forward to it. Well, let's take a look at some charts that may be good candidates for bounces. Bounce. One of my smart traders, Mick, had brought gold GDXU to my attention, and that's a good one. If you look at the longer term chart, it came down from much higher. Way to play gold, GDXU if it bounces. Meme stock, Bed Bath & Beyond. I've been calling for you guys since 505, right? I distinctly remember making a joke about, like Levi jeans, which I love, at 505s. And I said to buy this thing at 505. And if you did, you're in the money. Boom. Flawless victory. But we have a shooting star at 13. And it still doesn't break the 13. So I ain't going to buy it until it gets up over 14. But Bed Bath & Beyond, I was trading it earlier. And I held a bit. Anyway, we'll see where it goes from here. DraftKings, also a really nice recovery play lately. Remember, these are the ones that I mentioned to you folks who've been with me here in these Saturday events for weeks now. I've been telling you DraftKings, PayPal, Netflix, all these others, right? And they're starting to look good. If we take a look at one of my favorite stocks, Disney, one of my traders had asked me about it. I think it was Devendra. One of you folks had asked me about it when it was like 95 or 97 or so, and I said, we don't want to buy right under the 100, but we do want to buy over the 102. Yeah, ranges are just up to the previous. The thing that it depends on the chart. Often I'll use the mean reversion. Other times, previous obvious resistance areas or the 52-week high. But anyway, Disney target on this, if you're asking a target, would be 140. I always like to sell right under decade value. So for those of you who are long Disney, I called the long for you 102, and it worked out great. So. That was good. What else do we have here? We got Netflix. really good pivot, right? It went 170 to 250. That's a $80 run. It has now closed its bullish cup after gapping down. So it's at the window resistance at 260. Not a trade recommendation, but long over 260 makes sense in Netflix. Ford Motor Company, I've been calling that since 12, right? Yeah, 12. It was like 12.20 for a live room members. If you're not yet a live room member, why not? I give so many great calls. People are shocked when they see the win rate of my calls. Just follow yourself and take a careful look at my alerts and specific prices and how to manage exits. Anyway, that's a wonderful looking chart. I love Ford. Again, shooting star at the 16.25 there. See that shooting star right here? When you wish upon a star, it's hammer time. Ba 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 dum ba bum. So hammered out the bottom, shooting star, hammers out at top for at least a week or so. So inquiring minds want to know, does this guy break 1650 or not? We'll see, but I'll get long forward north of 16.5, 17. Bitcoin play Marathon, that's my favorite one. This one and Coin are my two favorite Bitcoin plays, and Marathon, we've been calling it since, I think it was the low 8s, like 840, 860, something like that. Anyway, $8 a share. Marathon looks really good. It's ran all up to 18. Now, what's a cardinal rule? We don't buy what? We don't buy anything with the number 9 in it. So that's correct. So we don't buy 19. That would be a dumbass place to buy. This would be a good place to wind out your Marathon trade and sell it all into the buyers. And then rebuy if it gets back over the 20. Remember, we trade within these sandwiches, within these trading brackets, a good professional approach. So long over the 10, we go long above 10 and we sell right under the 20. Then we go long above 20 and sell right under 30. And so forth and so on. Dun dun da ba da bum. How much money could you have made if you listen to my Marathon long call here for the free events or live room members? You see how well we did with it, right? This is doubled in value. Solar plays are in play because of the climate change. That's one good thing for the solar sector, so you may want to look at solars. For green sector, you're going to play EV plays and solar. So EV and solars are going to be hot coming up because they just passed a big-ass infrastructure spending bill, of which many billions is targeted for climate change and related initiatives. So your solars and your EVs are going to be outstanding sectors, and you want to see what to trade and how in the live room, of course. Yeah, right, Matt. Yeah, so if you guys, let's see, what else? If you guys aren't yet live room members, we do have expanded swing trading coverage. And in fact, what I do virtually every day is right at 4 o'clock, I go through and I buy some stuff for swing trades or sell stuff that I'm in, depending on where it ended. And I put on those trades and I tell traders, what I'm buying, how many shares, what my expectations are, the initial stop, the target, and all that. So I do live real money swing trading many days, not every single day, depends on the stock market day, but on decent days, I'll put on new swing trades right after 4 o'clock. And so buying after market is good. And again, Bed Bath & Beyond was a good runner. Other recent plays, you may want to look at Pelotron, PTON. It dropped from 38 down to 10, and then it's starting to bounce. I liked yesterday's big upside price action run in Pelotron. PTON was a runner. Neo's kind of choppy. Neo's been better for day trading than swing trading lately. Speaking of which, let's switch over to our day trading charts. This is Neo. Neo had a good day on Thursday, but yesterday, not so much. It was kind of choppy. A little bit of an uptick, but that would have been hard to trade. I didn't trade Neo yesterday. This is a monster penny stock run, the EMBK. Echo Mike Bravo Kilo. EMBK running all the way from 60 to $1.20. It doubled early in the day, but then it kind of chopped around later in the day. Another good momentum runner was ALT. Did a good run. Now this is my kind of chart. It's got a 2-day high breakout. A breakout above the previous day's high. This is a 2-day chart. Long over the 14.5, 15. And sell right under the 18, right? So that was a good runner. open range breakout of multiple points, of 4 points. It had 4 points on a teen price stock. So that's really good leverage and really good volume of over 50,000 shares a minute, and a good consistent breakout. It's easy to trade, or easier to trade potentially. Another really good chart for us the last couple of weeks. We had many winning alerts in this one for our members, VERU. You can, well, for example, here's an example alert. Do you see the 16.7 right there? Before the market opened, I advised my traders that to look for a paper trading breakout if it got over 16.7. So, before 9:30, I was saying we go long if it gets over the 16.7. It did, and it ran like a monster all the way up to 19. So it was over a $2 win if anyone took it and held. So that's an example of the professionalism and the accuracy of my alerts. I give people alerts with specific prices before the market opens, right? We have the whole list of alerts there for our traders before the bell. That's one thing that separates my room, along with the live forum that I'm launching as well. Bed Bath & Beyond had pretty good volatility lately. Big run yesterday from 10.5 to 13, so lucky number 13. And these are the kind of charts I cover in the live room, and did yesterday because they've got good volatility. Here's one that one of my smart traders, Ari, had mentioned, CHPT, and I called it at 17.6. He mentioned it when it was like 17.20 or so. He said it's going up, and I said okay, let's pull it up. I said we'll look for a long at the 17.6, and you can see that alerts in the alert table, right? How much money could you have made had you taken my 17.6 alert and held it for any length of time? Even if you sold just at the 18, it's still a good run. So a good move up. DraftKings is starting to look good for a swing. One of my traders had mentioned Tesla had a good run as well. But that gets my vote for the chart of the day because it had a relatively consistent run and was easy to trade, and high volume and consistency all the way to lunchtime, right? It's another quick tip. If you put on longer term day trades, day trades that may last a half an hour or two or something, which is fine, do tighten up a trailing stop near 11 o'clock because often they'll pivot back down, or in some cases just go sideways. But right after 11 is a good time to tighten up your trail stop. So, hey, good stuff. All right. Well, folks, I think I'm going to wrap up here soon, or wrap up now. I've said my piece. I hope that this helps. Do keep an eye on some of these charts and others as the market unfolds next week. Remember, with that big infrastructure spending bill pass both chambers or whatever, the market may well. Well, thanks. CHPT is an Internet TV Radio USB stick. I did not know that. Thanks, Matt. I didn't know what CHPT was. Anyway, the market may well have a lot of sell pressure anytime now. So now is not the time to be heavy long the market, even though it looks like the market's roaring back to life and blah, blah, blah. No, you're late. Now's a good time to be selling to the last minute, the last few buyers that are straggling around out there before a big epic pullback or a drop. We'll probably get a fake out, head fake. Market may run up Monday, a little bit on Tuesday just for good measure, and then Tuesday afternoon at the latest, the market may well reverse back down. So that's my forecast. Take care, and I'd love to see you in the live room. If you're not yet we got a lot of you folks here. If you're not yet a live room member, you can go to trademastery.com/live and join up. So take care, and I will see you guys next time. Bye for now. Trade smart. We'll stay on top of it for you. Thanks, everyone. Hey, you're welcome. Thanks, folks. Appreciate it. All right. Have an epic weekend, and I'll see you in the live room hopefully on Monday. Bye for now.